Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I'm SM SithLord, and you are watching the build stream going on right here on the channels you're watching. If you're watching on Twitch, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, etc., welcome to the show. Today I'm going to be making a kind of like a little theater area with maybe some retro space videos in it. And the reason why is because this asset pack that I grabbed from Sketchfab earlier is a wonderful asset pack. It was only like 3 megabytes after it was auto-converted to a GLB. It imported very nicely. I'll be able to grab these little things and move them around and instance them as I want. It's going to be pretty optimized, although I'm going to clone these things so many times. It's going to be not highly optimized in the end. Also, I'm not baking it all into one texture, and that's going to make it not so super optimized. But it will still run pretty dang well because these textures are texture atlas, and maybe I'll put these models are texture atlas, and maybe I'll put some batch groups in it or something like that if there's time at the end. But so I have this wonderful pack of assets here to build a scene with, 1960s kind of an office thing here. But I don't have the floor or walls. Now, I could go into 3ds Max and start modeling all that, but instead of doing that, I'm going to close 3ds Max, and we're going to stick more with easy mode here. So after first grabbing this GLB asset pack from Sketchfab, well, it wasn't a GLB at first. It was just a regular asset on Sketchfab. By the way, they're changing their name just to Fab now. They're going to drop the sketch. It was too sketchy for them. Anyways, I grabbed this model off of Sketchfab. It was auto-converted to a GLB. It was only like 3 megabytes big. Drag and dropped it into my Asset Explorer, and it gave me all of these files here. Now, instead of 3D modeling anything, I'm going to make my room out of primitives. So I'll do the normal thing where that I usually do, where I hide my sample scene, but I drag out the things I know I want, like my spawn point and that light and the floor. I'll move my spawn point to be over here. Okay. It's okay if I spawn inside this stuff right now. This, I think that I want this all rotated 180. And I'll push it back. Okay, everything else I'll leave hidden for right now. So I have this surface here that I could use as a floor. However, the texture on it, there's no texture on it. And I want a texture on it. And it's got to be a real nice texture. So I'm going to grab one of these textures from gametextures.com that I got from earlier. They have a lot of free textures on there if you don't have texture assets yourself. They also have a bunch that you could get with through their service. I just need like 2 textures. You don't want to use too many because then it'll take a while for your environment to load. Because I'm not baking anything, so I need a fancy looking floor. Looking for a fancy looking floor. And then a wall. Maybe that brick wall. Hey, how about this floor? Will that floor go with these textures? I think that it will. Yeah. Now, I am going to somewhat optimize this, so I'm not going to upload the 2K textures that these, the resolution that these textures came in. Instead, I'm going to resize them down to be a little bit lower. And I'm not going to use all of the different material layers. So I'm going to take this one down to 1024. I'm going to leave it up at 1024 instead of taking it all the way down to 512 because, let me think about this. No, I should take it all the way down to 512. It's going to be heavily tiled. It doesn't need to be such big resolution. And I'll drop it into here. I'm going to save them as a PNG because I'm going to apply basis compression at the end. But that won't come until the end. Let me resize this normal, trying not to break it. In a normal map, every little hue of blue and greenish stuff that you see there, that's representing a three-dimensional direction. The surface normal of what would be of what's underneath it. So when the colors get distorted, it actually makes the shape of the thing different. Visually, it makes it look different because of the way that it processes the normal map. So you don't want to accidentally change the colors when you can't like JPEG encode a normal map because that is loss of compression, and it gets weird, man. Yeah. So I already had my materials thing set up here. I'll just drag and drop these materials into there, and then I'm going to make a new. So these are the textures that I dropped into there, and then I'm going to make a new material, and I'll call the material that, and I'll give it my diffuse, and automatically give me my other things, and then I'll assign it to this. Okay, that's a good start. I'll probably have to adjust it a little bit more in a moment, but we're well on our way. Okay, let's launch this and see how it goes. Okay, there's glass in this scene that's using a fancy shader that I'm going to disable. It's like a refraction shader. I'm going to disable it to get rid of the errors down there on the camera. I think that's what's happening. Maybe there was a camera bundled in this GLB. That happens sometimes too. Nope. Okay, so it's one of these materials is using that. So, refraction. Is it refraction that it's using? Dynamic refraction. Turn that off. Now that the coffee pot is no longer using dynamic refraction. One other thing in my scene still is. Probably something with glass. I really thought it was going to be this thing, but it's not. Could it be the actual liquid coffee? Nope. Ooh, how about this? Nope. Whatever that was. Okay, there's actual water inside of that thing. That's probably what had the shader. And it's looking weird. Let's make that not look so weird somehow. By either removing the water or making it not look weird. I'm just gonna remove the water. We need a refill on our water thing here, everybody. Be sure to tell the guy. Okay. The ground needs to be tiled more because it's just a 512 by 512 texture after all. Gav in. Welcome. Okay. Just checking my chats here, making sure I wasn't falling behind. All right, now we're gonna need a wall, a window, and a ceiling. I didn't think about the ceiling. I'm writing a different texture for the ceiling, and then a place to put the videos, and then I'm gonna arrange this furniture in this room, and it's gonna be super fun. Maybe no window. It'll be easier if there is no window, but I'm definitely going to need a wall. So for a wall, let's see what I have. Plaster. Painted plaster texture? Ew, that's like brown. Do I have a white one? I want a dirty wall. I guess 60s. They had brown walls, yellow walls, green and yellow. Yeah, baby. Sure, let's do it. Let's use this painted plaster texture here. I'm going to shrink this one down just like the other one. We want to be somewhat optimized. The other one I shrunk down to 512. This one, I'm also going to shrink down to 512, I think. Yeah. But, you know, uniform. AO here, I don't think I need it. The normal map though, I definitely need that. I also want to make sure I make this room big enough to not feel cramped when you're hanging out in it. That's never fun. It's never fun to feel cramped when you're trying to hang out in a room, in a virtual room. This room's pretty spacious, actually. It's probably, I don't know, depending on how much furniture I put in here, maybe it will still be a problem. Are these chairs the right size? Yeah, that's just a big chair. That's the boss chair. Let's rock and roll. And then we got the plaster. Albedo. And then we drop the diffusion. Normal automatically gets applied, and now we need a wall. My wall is going to be another. Oops, it's going to be another plane because I don't really need a square wall. Not for this. What I'm doing here. The collision I'll figure out later. Okay. Let's get some more walls. Well, let's figure out the collisions right now before I clone it. Physics collision box. about yay big, yay deep, and yay tall. Hierarchy's not flattened. It could probably be more optimized if it was. Maybe it doesn't matter. I'm not sure. Okay, where's the video going to be? Okay, that glass looks weird and the collision on the floor isn't big enough, as I found out. That looks way wrong. Why would it not write depth? Maybe it's going to look weird if it's writing depth. Ah, looks good now. Looks good. I'm going to put YouTube Space Programs videos on the wall between the tables and stuff like that. So I think against this wall right here is a good place, and then I'll build out a little bit of trim around the wall. It's going to be a web browser object that I'm going to throw a YouTube video onto. That means the web browser object from the sample scene I'm going to rescue and drop into my regular scene here. Oh, this has wheels? That's cool. So I'm trying to, I need to pull that back and bring the tapes with it. I'm trying to frame like angles that I could watch the wall screen from that look really cool, because you don't want to just go into the world. This world's going to be mostly about viewing the videos in it. You don't want to go into a world and then you go up to the screen and you stand so close to the screen that you don't even see the world. What's the point of being in the world then? I mean, you're socializing and all that, but what if you're just by yourself trying to go there and watch the video? You want to utilize this 3D world around you and kind of set the scene. Kind of like VR Pinball FX or Pinball FX VR. It's just about playing pinball, but there's this whole scene around it that matches the theme of the pinball table, just so you feel more immersed. So instead of standing right in front of the screen, I'm thinking the people, like myself, will be standing about over here, and they'll be watching the space video over there, like the retro space video, and also looking at all the cool stuff sitting around it. Okay, I need some beams, wood beams. I don't want to upload a whole new texture for it though. Here's wood. I'll use this one. That's probably the wood used on one of the desks or something. Actually, why not? Just use this one. There might be a reason why not. It's going to end up looking all stretched, but let's start here. Why wouldn't they store their two servers next to each other? I don't know. I didn't design the place. I only designed the place. I only positioned the props. I only made the decision not to put these two things next to each other. Okay, there's some filing cabinets on the shelf there, or some files on the shelf. Everything might be a little too big. Yeah, let's bring everything down a little bit. A little better. Hey, the computers get to live together after all. We can be buddies. There you go, buddy. That's the snack table over there. Let's put some more coffee cups over there. We're gonna need lots and lots of coffee cups on the snack table. You barely see the ceiling, so I don't want to waste a whole nother texture on it. I'll just use these. This is a very different approach that I took in during the last stream, where I built everything hyper optimized inside 3ds Max, baked everything together in one texture, all in one object, flattened the hierarchy and all that kind of stuff. This one, I'm kind of using the play canvas editor there, like it's a level editor, and I'm just making shapes and positioning the primitives around. So very different approach than last time. see if this tabletop can also be my door. Just a door, prop door, fake door. All right, doing pretty good here. For out here, I don't know. I think this will just be the backdrop area. There won't be anything over here. You just spawn in and you look this way. When you come and you consume the video, which I'll find in a moment to put onto there. Then we can publish this thing. Should I get more than one video? Maybe I'll get a playlist and put it on there. I don't know. We'll see. But these files and stuff, let's get these onto these tables. I don't want to put a table over here because I want you to be able to stand here and watch. Did he? We'll have to make a tribute to Drowlock's acting career room. I actually already have a couple of those, oddly enough. Okay, I'm trying to generate an interior. What's up? 420 in progress, by the way. I'm going to generate an interior view I'm going to use as a reflection probe because I don't want to generate a reflection probe, so I'm going to say retro 1960s mission control room. And let's just see what that does. While that's thinking, because if I could get reflections on the wood surfaces and off of the ground, that'll make the normal maps pop and make everything look real nice. And other than that, I need to find a video. I'm going to pick these things off the ground. I need to find a video to put on the wall there. Too much orange. You would see the reflections of the orange and be like, where's the orange coming from? There's no orange here. Okay, now for the video on the wall, YouTube. 1970s documentary about the universe. Not exactly 1960s. And the quality is pretty bad. Explorations of the planets. Here's 1960s down here. We'll go with this one. So I just take that URL. I don't think that's going to do it. Let's try it again. Could I tell it the tones? Okay, yeah. Wood and earthy tones. Let's see what it does with that. That's what we need. I copied something just a moment ago. Oh, it's the URL that I'm going to put into this thing right here. So here's the web browser object, and I'm going to set its URL to that. The resolution, I'm going to tell it to do low resolution. I'll just leave it auto. I'll just leave it auto. If it's a video, then you're only doing it for music. You could set the resolution to low. That way, it's not as much performance impact on the people that come visit your parcel. If you need a lot of resolution on your thing because it's like your home page or something, you go to high, except that could cause more performance impact. And if you do auto, it's based off of the size. Well, it's always based off the size, but it's always based off the size of the actual surface in the world also. So if you do auto, the larger surfaces are higher resolution, and the smaller surfaces are lower resolution, but you can override that with this kind of stuff. I'm going to do autoplay, so it automatically plays. This is going to be a space documentary. The UI thumbnail, I'll just use the default. I won't put anything there. Button new tab to open the video in a new tab, sure. Button to view it in world, yeah, even though it's going to auto start. Do I need a button to go in the same tab? No. So we're good. That's going to be my auto playing YouTube video. So as soon as you come to the parcel, you'll hear and see this video playing. And now, if we could get the correct hues on one of these things, earthy tones, beige walls. Hopefully that can do it for us. That cube map isn't exactly necessary, but I'm gonna see if I can get it anyways. Okay, so how about also I add some fog to this? That might be really cool here in this small little area. Fog, linear, start, in, color, like that. Because it's smoky, right? It's the smoky 60s, man. I don't think anybody called it that, but hey, we are. Everybody's stressed out. Like, did they land on the moon? Is that where we're going? We're going to the moon? Okay, maybe a little bit stronger. Okay, I think that's our smoke. It's not too smoky, but it's a little smoky. Can we get a beige cube map here? Come on, come on, yes! Oh, it's so bright. I think that's too bright. That's too bright. Beige walls on all sides. This might be my last attempt here at making it work. Let me jump in and check the chat, see if I fell behind anywhere. No, we're good, we're good. Okay, how about this thing that just generated? Let's do this, let's do it. Dimly lit 1960s office, government agency office with no windows and big walls on all sides. Earthy tones, so wood. looks exactly, almost. It looks very similar to the first NASA office that it created for me. All right, that's not dimly lit. So I think that we're good here. We don't need, I kind of want the reflection map here. Let's try this again. An underground bunker with no windows and beige walls on all sides. We're in a bunker. They couldn't possibly give me a window if we were in a bunker, right? Yeah, okay, no windows. I'll take it. Let's process this thing. I'm going to process this a lot because I want it to be not bright. But wait a second. How much do I really need to process this? Probably a lot. Let's see. Here, I really want to reflect on this thing. Environment. Environment can't take sphere map. It cannot take this, but if I take the cube map, then I could assign it to everything and make everything shiny. I do want everything to be shiny. How would this thing look shiny? Talking to myself here, excuse me. So if I make this folder and I call this thing a skybox, I go over the skybox and I don't know. I'll eventually make a skybox material. No, but before I do that, I wanted to process it up here. Saturation, not saturated, brightness is way down. Hues. Browns. Okay, excuse me as I upload this. Hopefully it doesn't lag down my connection very much. So up goes up, down goes down, front doesn't go front. We'll see if right goes front. No, let's see if left goes front. Left goes front. Where does right go? Right goes left? No. Right goes right? No. Right goes back. That means that front goes left, and it means that back goes right. Okay, got that figured out. Pre-filter my cube map here, and let's see how it looks. It might look really weird and wrong. We're about to find out right now. Pretty heavy. Some heavy duty stuff right there. I don't think it's good. Maybe it's okay for reflections though. Let's see. No, okay, this is all no good. So let's undo those changes that we did. Let's go back to the scene. Let's remove that from the scene. Let's delete the whole thing. We don't want the cube map. It didn't work out. And we are ready. Let's refresh one last time. Oh, well, let's set the camera. I always forget to set the camera. Today, I've not forgotten. We could make an animated attract camera, but instead I'll just add a camera in. Add any camera to your scene. You can position it wherever you want, and you can even adjust the field of view that will have effect for the people. And this is where the camera spawns before they even log in. Right there, looks good. Okay, I'm going to delete the rest of the stuff that I don't need from the sample scene, which is everything. And I'm ready. Let me name this first. Let's see here. Name this thing. I think I name it when I build it. The title will be Retro Space Office. Did I download it? I don't think I did. I did. There it is. Okay, we're ready to go. So I'm going to extract this to here, and then I'm going to upload it to GitHub. You self-host the web worlds wherever you'd like, but you can use GitHub. Usually, what's error 500 mean? To host stuff if you don't have your own web space. I think GitHub might be having issues right now, so I might have to GG the stream, wait for GitHub to stop having issues, and then come back. Oh wait, okay, the issues have been resolved. Thank you, GitHub. Now I go and I add new file. I'm just gonna upload directly to the site. I unzip this thing, and I'll just call it Retro Space. Retro Office, I'll call it. Because maybe I'll put a different video in there, and it won't be Space in the future. It'll be Retro G-Man or something like that. Retro Office, and I'm going to drag and drop it into there. Let me get a screenshot of this first. And I'll just drop it into my zip or my folder right before I upload it. Call it preview.jpg. Cool. Now I'll have a screenshot in here with it. So I drag and drop Retro Office into there. You don't need to do that preview thing, by the way. I only do that so when I'm looking at the folders in the repo, I know what's what and what everything looks like. But for the actual thumbnail that it shows on your parcel, when you link it in social media or when somebody's loading in and it shows like the loading screen, that you set on the parcel. You just go to the parcel in Somnium Web that has the web world assigned to it, and you just take a new screenshot in photo mode, which I will show. As long as GitHub is able to process the cloud actions for me fast enough. Okay, commit changes. I did not basis compress textures and stuff like that, did I? Did I? I didn't. I skipped that step. So this is not as optimized as it could be, and I'm just got to take a look at it to see how not optimized it is. These are two textures that I scaled down a whole bunch, so those aren't going to be an issue. But this one, is this a 2K texture? It's 1024. Nothing's 2K though. Also, multiples of these materials are not square, which also affects how much, what kind of compression you can put onto them. So I think I'm good. There's only like 4 or 5 textures used in this whole thing. A lot of materials, but only 4 or 5 textures. The reason a lot of materials is bad because when I click on, I'm just explaining stuff while I wait for these cloud actions to finish over here and actually deploy my thing. It'll take a little while because it's a big repo now. If I turn on the profiler and I launch, you'll see that today's build, the build that I made last time, it was only a handful of draw calls because everything was atlas and there wasn't a lot of shaders and everything was flattened. This one, because I had that profiler box checked, it gives me this stuff on the bottom. And I could look at my draw calls. This is 551 total draw calls. Now I'm told once upon a time that around 200 draw calls is a good target for being mobile friendly. So there's way too many draw calls in this scene, especially for how small it is. There's a lot of detail in here, but if you wanted to optimize this a whole bunch more, you would atlas all the text, all the materials, if possible, onto one material or one texture, if possible. And then you would instance the things, like you see how there's a bunch of different versions of the chair. You could use batch rendering to make those render in one draw call instead of multiple draw calls because they're the same asset, basically. They're the same model, the same material, so they can definitely be batched if you set them up. You don't need to set up batching if you flatten everything, though. So you kind of have an option of, do you want to use instancing and batch rendering set up in the editor? I didn't add collisions to anything. Maybe I should have done that. I don't know. It's not a big deal to me. I mean, I'm not going to walk into the table anyways. But some people, the first thing they do is going to walk into the table and see if they collide. I don't mind if you stand into it. But I should probably go back and add collisions to this at some point. Maybe when I come back into here one day and swap out the video or something else. But yeah, I got 550 draw calls. It tells me about my my triangles. I have 271,000 triangles on the screen from this far back angle because everything's being rendered from this angle. When I get close to watching the video like there, it'll be less. It tells you the updates times. I have 2 lights with 2 with dynamic lighting, but only 1 casts shadows. If I go down here, it shows shadows. Where's it at? The light mapper? Shades? Somewhere, here it is. 156 of my draw calls were due to shadows. So if I didn't have real-time shadows, I could get rid of all those draw calls. 6 skinned meshes. 6? I only count 1. Okay, let's see if this thing's deployed. Nope, not yet. If this thing, because like I said, it does take a little while to deploy these days, because it's a much bigger repo than it used to be. I will GG the stream in a moment if that turns out to be the case. Another good addition would have been the spawn points. I only set 1 spawn point here, but I could have set multiple spawn points so people don't spawn inside of each other. Yeesh. So that's another improvement that I could do. Collisions, spawn points, swap the video out with something else. And maybe like on this side, there could be content like more videos and more stuff that you can learn about space, which is what this video on the wall is going to be like once my pages deploy. So anyways, after those pages deploy, then I have to find a parcel to put it on, go there, log in, go to the parcel settings, and assign my thing. And I will do that after it's done uploading, but I don't want y'all to have to be sitting here watching this little thing spin with me, hoping that it deploys soon. So I will GG the stream for today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope I showed something useful. Again, we did the super easy mode version of building. By the way, this is going to look better when I drop it into a parcel and there's the post-processing on the Ready Player Me. I'll take some screenshots because it's going to look pretty nice. I only put shadows on one of the lights. I could have put shadows on both of the lights, but it would have been twice as performance impactful. And perhaps not looked twice as cool, because the shadows coming from one source looks pretty cool. There actually are a lot of games where it does the dynamic shadows on the player from the nearest light. They don't give them multiple shadows because it's crazy to render multiple real-time shadows. So I avoided that just by having one real-time light there. But we did easy mode. I just grabbed this model off of Sketchfab. It was a free model. I downloaded the GLB version that was already downsized to 1K textures, which is why the texture resolutions weren't insane a moment ago when I was looking at the assets. Then I drag and dropped that GLB into the Play Canvas asset panel. That extracted everything into the project. I spawned it in here. I cloned the nodes from the GLB all around to reuse stuff like the chairs. And I made these walls and floors just out of primitive shapes in the Play Canvas editor. The result was I have a pretty good looking room, and it's going to be very usable and enjoyable. I'm going to go there and watch this space video like right now once it finishes deploying. And I was able to do it really, really easy, and it didn't break my back. It was not difficult to do. It was easy to do. It was fun to do. It was borderline easy mode because I didn't do any 3D modeling. I made everything out of primitives. Now the trade-off is this doesn't run very well. It's not very performant. To make it performant, I'd have to do those optimization steps with batch rendering or flattening the hierarchy and baking everything together in a hard mode tool like 3ds Max or something like that. So the moral of the story is, if you care about hyper-optimization, you should look into things like finding a perfect model from Sketchfab that's already baked into one texture and is really optimized. It just comes that way. Or getting good at something like Blender or 3ds Max that allows you to create these hyper-optimized models and bake stuff into it. That's really, really hard. And that's if you need to be hyper-optimized and like run on potato phones with the power of a potato. But if you are targeting like desktop computers or laptops, they'll run this no problem. no problem. They'll be able to go over here and watch the video and walk around with the 500 jaw calls. So if you know that you're having an event and it's going to be mostly people that are on laptops or powerful devices like a laptop or a computer, you could just make something really, really quick using this approach. If you're making something that's trying to reach the masses and you need everybody to be able to pull it up on their phone and check it out, then look into the other approaches. And with that, I will leave you all. No, it deployed. It deployed. Okay, don't go yet. Because I'm about to go to, what did I call this? Retro Office? Okay, so this is now live on the internet. It's still the little test scene though. I need to assign it to a parcel. Let's do that. I need to figure out what parcel to assign it to. I made a list of all of the parcel builds that I've done, and also of all the screenshots of them. But I'll get to that later. Let me just get straight to what I'm trying to do here, and that's assign this parcel to 3181. Okay. 31. Okay, this is a pretty cool world. I'm gonna replace it though with a holistic world at this URL. Save and reload. I'll also be taking a brand new screenshot. There's my camera. Cool. There's the post-processing, and there's the video automatically playing. See what post-processing can do for you too? This looks amazing, I think. I'll be taking some screenshots momentarily. I could turn on the headlight if I wanted everything to be brighter. I kind of like it to be dark. I don't need the AO. I don't need the bloom. The bloom does not have a dramatic effect because this is a pretty dark world, I suppose. DOF is awesome. DOF makes the little web views disappear though. We got SAO, we got this one I won't even try to pronounce, but it actually goes real well with this environment. Okay, and there we have it. This parcel is parcel 3181. So if you'd like to jump into that URL shown at the top of the screen, you can watch this video and have yourself a ball. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all next time for yet another exciting build later on.